All right. So Charlie, I'll start creating the custom report for the two AC Furia projects.
Yeah,
Um,
so that's something we have to do for everything in Smart. So
mhm,
you just got to get that started. I know it's a pain, but so is pretty much everything about this process.
mhm. Okay, I'll do that. I'll complete it.
All right, great.
Not sure if you saw what I did last week for the um for Rose Associates, the executive summary, also the local law 88 survey that I created for the general survey and base, which is outside of the Rose Airtable base. And also I did something a while back. Um Hold on, let me check Airtable. Um so I created a survey or a form inside the Rose Airtable base for the customer app um, customer application information requests that we can send to the clients or executives or residential managers. So I sent an email about that, but I think you and Wit haven't checked it yet or haven't approved it yet. So maybe we can discuss that as well um, in this meeting. I'm not sure if
Okay.
we have the time.
Well,
Um,
if it's just us, we have time for anything that you need.
okay. All right. So let me go to the most important, the executive summary. Let me share my screen.
So we did talk to Nick about that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, was this based on the wireframe that Wit sent you?
Yes. So this is the one that, oops, I think I'm not sharing my entire screen. Hold on.
No, you are.
So this
Oh.
is the one that um Wit sent. Um, and then the one that I created.
Yeah, so we talked about this with Nick on Friday. He really liked it. Um, I think that the first page is more of like a one pager about ELM. I don't think that it is like the supposed to be the first page of this.
Okay.
Whether we keep that information in there and move it to the end
Mm-hmm.
remains to be seen, but that's not part of the executive summary of what this weekly report that goes to the executive says.
Okay. So
An executive summary is when you send a report that takes more than 15 minutes to read or whatever, and you just want an executive to be able to kind of glance at it and get the important information. That's the idea. So as we go down to the second page, what you have two options for the paragraph.
yes, because the first option is for if we have did the site visit already. I'm not sure if we did, but I saw an email about the site visit for August 27th. Um, and this the second paragraph is if we did not um, if we did not complete yet a site visit.
So I think that this local law 88 page, I think we want to be thinking of it more as a general page for the portfolio. So it's not like if we did a site visit or not. And I think at the top, rather than a paragraph, put the who, what, where, when, why, how from our one pager.
Okay, okay. The one that I updated before again. I gotcha.
And then the pie chart below, like it's not, we want to have we want as many properties as possible to fill out our survey, our Airtable survey or the Smartsheet survey. And be showing the progress there. So, you know, I don't know if this is that chart just a placeholder. Is it meant to show anything?
Yes. So this is just for the 4 surveys that we received, and then I think they are all unsurveyed yet.
Okay, so you want the denominator or the total number of properties to be the total number of properties on the list that Nick most recently sent. Whatever that is, 200, whatever. And then of that 200, we've received information back now on 4. And then when another exec sends the survey out to his RMs, hopefully we'll get to 10. And when this guy at Mount Sinai sends us back 30 buildings, we'll be at 40. And we can slowly chip away, letting Nick know, you know, which properties, which executives we've had good success with in getting the surveys filled out.
Okay. So 200 plus buildings, we sent the surveys, 4 of them submitted. Hopefully we will receive more, especially from Mount Sinai. Do you want me to list all the buildings that we have sent the surveys here?
No,
Okay, just
I think
okay.
this is just going to be like a high level overview of our progress with that.
Okay. Got it. So probably I'll remove this because
I mean, yeah, I'm not sure like what would go there. I like having some sort of box, but yeah, I think the pie chart is good. And we can play around with the statuses as we move those around.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you maybe just make a box at the bottom and just call it like updates. And you can leave it blank for now.
Okay.
But like we can call people out by name. Like we can say like received information from 4 of Josh Murphy's properties. Or, you know, we get that on Sinai stuff. We can just put updates in there, kind of showing it's like positive reinforcement for people who are pushing things along.
Okay. Got it.
I think that's good. We
This
also,
one?
yeah, I mean, and also in this week's report, I think we said we were going to include the full local law 88 one pager. So that's not really part of this executive summary, but that's just, I'm just letting you know that this week we probably will include the one pager as well.
Okay. Do you want me to do that? Like combine them, probably put the one pager at the end, or how do
Yeah,
you want me to do
let's talk about that when everything's ready to put together.
it? Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
And then this page is good too. I guess my questions are, where do the numbers come from? And is this something that is being manually updated? Or can we do it automatically through Airtable?
I got this from Airtable, so I counted the total number of active buildings that we have projects. Total number of square feet of the 22 buildings, not per project, so I computed this per buildings. Total number of projects, I got it from Airtable. All of this came from Airtable. But the thing is, these are not all updated. There are 4 buildings that don't have square footage as well, in the Momentum I wasn't able to find it. Total incentives, this is not updated because we don't have, or I don't have all the past PIOLs for approved incentives. Like I think the Ventura cooling tower, I don't have that.
That didn't get an incentive.
Okay. Okay. Take note of that. So I will check Airtable and send you an email as well if which one we need to update to get these numbers accurate. Total kilograms of CO2 reduced. I think I'll get this too here from Shaw's analysis, right?
Now, so like this is a page, Mark, where you can play around with the Airtable page builder. And I would like to see this page generated automatically.
Yes.
Like, I don't want you having to go in and think about every single project in order to make sure this is up to date. Like, we should be tracking all the metrics on this page, project by project.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll play around on Airtable. That is what I thinking as well. Last time when you said to create this kind of executive summary or update.
Right.
But you said don't spend time on that because that would take too much time to figure out. But I can do that this week as well.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, in general, yeah, this is like, yeah, you're right. This is the perfect application for that. And like, if we're not able to do it, that just means we're not, staying organized enough in that tool.
I hear you. Okay. So I'll spend time on that as well.
Okay.
So that it will just be automated. I have a question about this available incentives and range. So how would I fill this out?
Not sure.
This is not the one that will be like the approved incentive for them, right? This is like the range of incentive that could be available for them. That is Walden is offering, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know that like an incentive range for a group of projects is really like important.
This was really supposed to be a portfolio-wide sort of analysis, the total buildings, total square footages, The incentive range was supposed to be money that we are estimating are available based on an average, a very, rough conservative average, on how many dollars are available per building if a building were to take on 1, 2, 3 projects.
So you're
We can
thinking
talk
of it,
about the specific projects we have underway, 22, how many square feet, the rest of it. But when I conceptualized this, it was to speak to the entire portfolio.
so this is like, we want to show them like $1.5 to $5 million right here.
Or more, whatever we think the total actual opportunity is in dollars, that we're chasing after. And how do we get to that number? We would average, what we think the average lighting incentive is, fans, pumps, realize that not every building is going to do all 3. It would be very rough, but we would just come up with sort of like an average per building, whatever it is. We could easily just say there's at least $50,000, incentives available, or whatever the number is. It could be 20,000, just if we're saying if every building did a lighting project, although not every building needs one. Those seem to be the lowest dollar amount incentives. So if we use that as an average and assumed every building did an incentive project, we could multiply 20,000 by 250, whatever the building number is, come up with a figure and have an asterisk explaining how we got to that number, kind of thing. I think we can also highlight, what we've done so far, and that becomes part of the pie chart or another sort of graphical analysis or talking point. These are the total numbers that we're chasing. This is where we are today. We realize this is not where we want to be, but we're really at the very beginning. This is what we're doing. This is our plan to get from here to here to here.
I like it. So on the property level, so I'm thinking Airtable right now on the property tab. We certainly could create a number of checkboxes for different project types. Lighting, exhaust fans, booster pump, clean heat is a big one. Elevator modernization. And then we could probably throw an estimated incentive number on those.
Yeah.
And then through a series of checkboxes, like as we talk to buildings, like for local law 88, if LEDs are done, we really know there's no incentive opportunity. So maybe LEDs gets checked under 55 West 25th. And then that would kind of update the calculation for incentives available.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that this week we leave that off and work on it a little bit because I like the idea. I just wanted to be presented in a well thought out way. Because I think when it does get presented, it'll raise a lot of eyebrows and turn a lot of heads, and that'll be a really good thing.
Yeah, that's the idea.
But like, the upper end of that number, what could be like
10 million.
no,
Man,
like
more.
Like 200 million.
Right. Okay.
Or 500 million.
Right.
Because the clean heat projects can get $1 million.
Yep.
So, we start getting into those numbers. I think that, the size of the building, I don't even know how we would generalize it, but I like
Understood.
the idea.
Yeah, no, it's something to work towards. I think it's not supposed to be for this week anyway. We agreed to that. How is the executive summary for this week going. I didn't. Do we have the updated doc and notes and stuff for this meeting?
No, we were just getting started looking at this document.
Right. I know. Understood.
Sorry, I get disconnected.
I was here at 01, lads. I know what's going on. Okay. So Mark, you didn't hear my question. Do we have an updated our weekly rose doc, everything for this meeting?
Yes, yes. So every update
I don't want to
happened-
interrupt this one pager, but I'm kind of going in a few directions and
yes. Let
but
me,
what other questions do we have on the one pager?
so hold on. Let's go back. So for updated summary, I have 3 categories: pre-inspection, executed PIOL, and post inspection. Should I add more to that, or the 3 categories are enough?
I'm going to kindly ask you just to repeat that so I make sure I got all that.
Yeah.
Are you sharing your screen, Mark?
And you're not sharing a screen. If you could, that would be great.
Yeah. Who's the host now? Sorry, it is the sharing screen option is disabled.
Be good now.
Thank you. So here, the last part, updated summary, I have pre-inspection, executed PIOL, and post-inspection. So should I add more categories to this? Like customer app, sorry, Jordan.
I
So
think
should
I think we just want it to show like recent pre-inspections, recent PIOLs, and then like post inspections. I think that. So maybe for the recent pre-inspections, yeah, we want to maybe even include the date, show the 5 most recent. POLs, you can also put / commitment letters. On lighting, there's not a POL, it's just a commitment letter. And that's one where you could list the dollars.
same thing with pre-inspection and inspection? Include the date and show the 5 most recent.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
there
we
are
don't-
5. Not sure there will be.
We don't have 5 post inspections yet. For the middle section, the PIOLs, you have Ventura exhaust fans, you have Ventura lighting, you have Millar booster pump, and you have isn't there one more?
Metropolis.
No, we just got those pre-inspected. Those aren't quite ready yet. Oh, I mean, I guess. No, we don't have the Alexander yet because that's still flagged. Yeah, so maybe just those three.
Okay.
And those are all documents you have stored under the project tab in Airtable, the commitment letter and or the PIOL.
Project tab, yes.
And you
But
have the dollar amount typed in as well.
yes. Should be, hold on.
So we want two fields, definitely. We definitely want an estimated incentive. And that can be estimated when Sean makes his estimate. It can be refined when we get a commitment letter or POL. And then there should be a separate field for final incentive.
Yes, we have those here.
Okay.
Estimated and approved incentive.
No, so approved would go under estimated because or add a third field for final because approved doesn't mean that it's going to equal the final.
Okay.
But that's definitely something that we want to be tracking to see if we come in below, above, right at the number.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I think this is looking good.
Okay.
So you definitely
So-
want the dollar amounts in that second section. And I mean, I don't think you need to spend a lot of time on this week, but if we're thinking towards how to automate this in Airtable, Mark, we use a formula to name the projects. I'm thinking that that name, which is like the address or building name, and then dash like the type of project, that could be like exactly how you have it here. So that comes from Airtable. And then you want to have the approved incentive field populate there as well.
Okay. Got it.
Do we have fields for pre-inspection date and post-inspection date?
Yes. Yeah.
We do.
Mhm.
Okay, great. Yeah. So I mean, once we kind of get this in a finalized form, we should be able to put it together using Airtable.
Okay.
All right.
And
then you can go back into the building by building summary and figure out when these pre-inspections were.
So. Okay. Do you want me to go from the top? Or you want the pre-inspection one? Because I just
before we get started on our project list, you sent some good checklists to the vendors last week. Um,
2 weeks ago.
I think that Tri-State said they had already provided some of the information, but like I know that there's a couple of AC Furia jobs where like we're waiting on
Yes, that's
I
right.
think this meeting every week, Mark, you should be sending this to all of us, please, every Tuesday. Just the most recently updated versions. We can look through it together and also look through the vendor list because those requests will inevitably change. But I think those documents, including the ELM to-do list, that's kind of our weekly thing that we look at all those things together during this meeting.
Okay.
So if you want to bring up whatever order you want to go in, but to Charlie's point, if you want to share your screen and bring up those vendor lists and start there, I guess.
Okay. So this, you're seeing my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, this was sent 11 days ago. To Matthew Polsha.
Mhm.
So what we are missing is existing equipment info of the Millar and 805th Avenue. And aside from that, hold on. 525 East, which is this is going to be not browse AC Furia project. So those three are the one that we're missing. So I guess I'll be sending a follow-up email to Matt about this. So yeah, that's what we're missing from AC Furia.
wait,
You
hold
want me
on.
to
So
go?
for AC Furia, we're missing their proposals for 1500 and 1510. Those got redone. There's also a proposal for another building that they're working on. Carnegie something maybe.
Which one?
I'm not sure. I can't keep all.
Carnegie is 1510, so it's not that.
Let's see. Yeah, so this email that Joe sent during meeting last Friday isn't all that helpful. Yeah, Mark, why don't you get your updated checklist together for AC Furia and let's check it out.
Okay.
Or you know what, you don't have to wait for me. But I might have some to add to it.
Okay, so I'll send it to you first before I send it to Matthew. Okay, I'll compile this, Charlie, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, so I think what Whit was saying is like, ideally, like this meeting, we're finalizing the report. We're talking about any like key things that happened or like high level things, and then if there are any questions, this is where we want to resolve them. Hopefully, uh,
Anything that we're waiting on any of our own team to do, first of all.
well, yeah,
And
I'm
I
also
think-
thinking that like Mondays, Fridays, end of the week, we typically are like scheduling pre-inspections, or this report like leads us to pushing things along. So there could be days where we're like, all right, we're not going to send this to Nick until this afternoon because we're waiting to hear back from Wildan on a couple of things. But in general, giving it every week gives plenty of time, or not that much time between updates, where if something changes during the day on Tuesday, it's not the end of the world.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, what I've been doing is, I've been adding notes here and on Airtable as well for the things that high level things that happened. So that will be updated. But for the missing things, I'm just doing that here inside per building. So we have the missing here. So it kind of like confusing if, yeah, it is kind of confusing if the information that are missing is here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a vendor's information here, like for ELM, we have Charlie with Shaw Mark. Then here, the vendors, if what we are missing from them, per project or per building.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right, so that I could better present this every week to you both. So yes, that's what I'm gonna do about that. So what else? What else?
Charlie, was there anything you want to articulate regarding tri-state confusion now that we're all together, or has that been resolved? Do we need to review anything there?
I don't know that it's been resolved. We'll definitely talk to them this week though. Wait, I don't know what your schedule is later, but I was planning on making some calls to some of the RMs that filled out the survey for Josh, and trying to schedule 2 lighting audits for Mike Winters tomorrow.
Okay.
I think eventually those are calls that you'll be making, but if you want to make those together this time around, maybe we could do that.
Yeah, what time?
Realistically, probably like 3:00,
Okay.
because I have this post inspection at 1. So hopefully it's done by 2. And then Nick mentioned like grabbing a bite to eat afterwards. So maybe I would do that and then get back on the train.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, like 3:30 probably works.
We'll call it 3:30 just so there's no ambiguity. It's fine. So the survey, whatever was the latest and greatest with Kathleen, like, did they actually take the initiative to send it out? Are they in a
No.
holding pattern? How should we proceed there?
I don't know why it hasn't gone out.
Right. So I think that should be maybe one of our calls, talk amongst ourselves and figure out what we want to do. But I think the bottom line is have them send it out. So it's in everyone's inbox. And then we can be proactive and reach out to people. To remind them to fill it out or what have you, unless we send it out. That would be more
Right.
piecemealed. So we sort of just want to decide how to proceed and do that today, tomorrow.
Well, we've been sending ours out. I think that Nick doesn't want us to like not work with Kathleen, so we should, I think for her it's just like shooting her a note, seeing if they need anything else before they send it out. And then whatever that other girl's name is, Elise or someone, figuring out, when she would send us the exported data.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think,
So I'm saying instead of us proactively like sending out the survey to, Mitch Gelberg, to other executives individually, I think we should have them do it unless there's a reason not to, but we agree that there's not. So yeah, let's talk about that
yeah,
as
like
well.
I'm honestly, I'm okay sending our survey. Like it worked with John. In theory, it would have worked with John for the Mount Sinai, but we kind of did a custom thing for him. And
So
like,
however that was sent to Josh, I didn't send it, but we would want to do that again. It was an embedded link. It's not like a download, it's a link. So however that was sent, whoever it came from, if we want to just repeat that process with some of the other executives, that's what I was thinking. Or we don't do that and just, request Kathleen and Elise to do it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with us doing that. So that's kind of what I was getting at.
it's like, it's a little clunky, but I almost prefer ours over theirs.
Right. And that's why I brought it up, because I do realize that. And my point is that however it was sent via email, we should replicate it. I don't know if it was sent from you or Mark. It was embedded in an email.
It was from
Um,
Nick to John.
It was sent from Nick. He was the originator.
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
Josh
I didn't realize that.
forwarded Nick something from Code Green or someone about
Okay.
local law 88.
Got it.
And Nick responded and said, "Oh, ELM's working on it. Start by filling out this survey," and included our survey link to the Airtable survey.
Correct. I
And
guess what I'm
Josh
saying is I
then
don't.
sent that to
I
his
haven't done that
RMs.
before. So, however, we should repeat it. If Mark sends it, whatever, we should do that in the next couple days.
All right, to the executives.
Correct.
Were you able, did you reach any of the executives? Was it last week that you were making some calls?
I didn't reach anyone. That's why I'm thinking about this idea.
You have phone numbers for all of them?
I have them for some. I'll have to confirm if there are any I don't.
Yeah, I would say let's shoot Kathleen an email and see where that smart sheet stands. Let's try to get that out.
What else, Mark? What are you
Um,
waiting for ELM? Anything from
yes.
ELM?
Mhm. So I created the survey with I think last week or last 2 weeks ago. That is for the Willdan Con Ed customer application info gathering. So I think you or Charlie told me to create the survey or start the survey and getting the information that we need to complete the customer application. So I did that, and then you said after they submit the survey, there should be an option or they will be directed to a calendar where they can schedule a 15-minute call with you with, and after submitting that as well, they can also upload the signed W-9. So I'm not sure if you saw the email that I sent about this, but I think I done that. So this is the survey that I created. It contains all the information that we need, or contains all the questions that we need, so that we can properly fill out the customer application. So once they submit this, what would happen is they will be directed to, I think, for them to upload the W-9. Hold on, let me just confirm. Yes. So once they successfully submitted this, they will be directed here to the survey, which is basically this W-9 request. So they need to input the address, property name, and they can upload the W-9 here.
Does it
And
indicate
one,
anywhere that it needs to be 2024? Should we somehow note that so they don't
oh,
upload one from a different year?
okay, good.
And that'll change, I suppose, to 2025 in a few months.
I can update that later. So that is just
Okay.
kind of like yeah. So W-9 requests. Here they can upload that. Once they submit this, they will be directed here. This is just a this is the Calendly or calendar of start. I can't create one without integrating it to your email address with. So this is the start email. This is, I created this just to just for a placeholder.
That's cool.
So
Very
if you
cool.
want, if you have time, this week we can set up your Calendly if you prefer Calendly, so that they can set up a call with you, and we can block times as well. So yeah, so they will fill out first the customer application. Once they submit that, they will be directed here for the W-9 request. Once they submit this, they have an option to set up a call with you. So I can resend the email that I sent this with all the links so that you
Yeah,
and Charlie
sure.
can
Do that.
check it later. Okay. Okay.
I did see it. I realized you sent it some time ago. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So yeah, aside from that, you said we were going to talk about Josh Murphy's customer application. We'll be sending it to different people under Josh. I don't think we have the time right now, but if we still have, we can talk about that as well.
Yeah, we can talk about that. He just basically requested to have them sent. I forget the word he used. Charlie might remember. Directors. I thought he was a director.
he said directors. I don't know who he meant.
I don't really know who he meant either. So I'm just wondering, these couple examples, if we just send them to him for his signature, and then moving forward, kind of reformat how he wants to do it. Brian Kenny said just send him customer applications moving forward. So everyone's going to be different. I think we just have a couple outstanding for Josh, 2 lighting ones. We should just send them to him for signature, you know, and see how he responds.
Okay.
What do you think, Charlie?
I might see Josh and or Nick today. I can ask them what they meant.
Okay, so hold off. You can
Okay.
remind
Well,
us again, Mark.
what custom apps are we waiting for? Customer apps we're waiting for Josh.
The large strand lighting. The Miller, this is already almost complete for the booster pump. So Miller lighting, Miller exhaust fans. I think all of this, wait, hold on. Yeah, Miller lighting and exhaust fans. Also, the Verdesian. I think we already sent this last week.
Yeah, Verdesian you sent to Daniel.
So there's 3.
Yes.
2 for Millar and 1 for.
It should be 1 for Millar, 1 for Larstrand, and 1 for Verdesian.
Right. So the customer app for the Millar Denmark has 2 things on it.
I'm sorry, you were asking me what?
So the customer application for the Millar has both fields checked appropriately. It's not 2 applications, it's 1 with 2 projects on it. Is that correct?
Let me check, sorry. Don't have the information at the top of my head.
Because previously we just had 1 for each. If there's 3 projects in one building, there would be 3 customer apps. We realize now we don't have to do that, but this may have been previously.
Oh yeah, so for the Millar lighting and exhaust fans, we have one customer app which is sent to Eric Swenson to sign the customer app. So
Sorry,
that
he
should be
did
out.
sign it, or we're waiting.
We're waiting. You sent it to Eric Swenson, but he didn't respond yet.
Right. So should we go ahead and send that to Josh then? Charlie can ask him or whatever, but so that's what we're waiting on.
Thank you.
But for the large strand, we really need to send that to Josh Murphy. The Verdesian, we already sent that to Daniel Treven.
Okay,
So
so
I
you can
think
ask Charlie again, I guess tomorrow or something. I don't know, but thank you for bringing it up because I asked you to. So it's still, I guess, holding pattern. That's fine. So is Airtable updated for all these rows updates that have occurred in the last 5 days?
yes, I just
Everything is
complete.
updated?
Yep, I just complete the update today for the last 5 days.
Great, thank you.
So yes, I think that's all of my questions regarding this.
All right.
Yeah, great work, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Ed.
I don't know, is the graphical Google sheet something that you're still working on and having in front of Wit?
I'm sorry, which one, Charlie?
The Google sheet where you shade the cells so you can see kind of everything at once.
Yes, that is being updated as well, simultaneously with
Okay.
Airtable and this one. I'm working on the nutshell as well. I tried the Verdition as well. I added some contacts, company, notes, and task. Not sure why it did not reflect here, but I saw an email for Verdition that Joseph will be sending the construction costs this week or within a week, and you'll be having like a meeting this week. So not sure
Right.
why it did not reflect here. But here you can log an activity if it is phone call, meeting, virtual meeting. I accidentally create notes here. There's a tab here for write a note, if anything that you want to put here as a note. Add an activity, like phone calls or whatnot. Task. If you want to assign to someone like Wit or Charlie or Mark, if what they need to do. So here they need to do phone call, emails, or anything for this lead here, the Verdition or any
Is
lead.
is a lead a person or a project?
A property. So what I was thinking is maybe a lead could be multiple buildings with different projects. So Verdition, for example, Verdition, M-Core, or I'm sorry, chiller replacement or Verdition exhaust fan, for example. What do you think? Because each lead will be on a different stages, like qualify, incentive, eligibility check, signed customer app. So I'm thinking a lead should be a project per building. Or if you can think of a better one, happy to do that.
What's this for?
For you asked if a lead is a person or a project. So I think
Right.
a lead,
I'm just kind of thinking of the logic of the system. In nutshell, it can be either.
yes, could be either. But I think we should doing like a general or a standard one. If we have people tab here and company here, maybe a lead is a project with progress or pipeline,
Okay.
right? So yeah, that's it. So I created as well. I created a pipeline as well for well then Con Ed incentive. So here I can create as well for different projects that we have. We can also have automated email here per stage. I'm still trying to master this. So maybe on Thursday I can give like a full presentation of this to you both. Sorry, Charlie, you were breaking in.
Off topic. We also want One thing we also wanted to do was begin some outreach related to some of the research that you and Aiden have been working on with the compliance districts.
Mhm.
Have you started looking at property managers anywhere outside of Boston?
No, not yet. I was prioritizing this one and then the executive summary and then nutshell.
Okay.
Since we have 17 days remaining of free trial,
Right, but so the energy compliance emails, nutshell, can send automated follow-ups and do that.
Mhm.
But if we don't
Yep.
start the outreach, then we don't get to test the automated follow-ups. So if we wait till the end of this week, then we have less than 17 days remaining. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. I'll start on the data entry and research task as well. Tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that it would be good for you and Aiden
Charlie,
to
sorry.
identify
Yeah, we can't hear anything you're saying.
2 or 3. I think it'd be good for you and Aiden to identify.
Sorry, you're cutting in and out again.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Yes.
I was saying I think it'd be good for you and Aiden to identify 2 or 3 cities that are not Boston, and with the goal of trying to identify which ones they are. That would help you do your research for the property management companies, and it would help
Mhm.
me work with him to finalize our materials.
Okay. Okay. I'll communicate with Aiden, but I think we should follow the one on Airtable, right? That is great.
Yeah, but there's 20 on there.
So number 1 is Boston, and then maybe I should follow the next one, the next 3 on the list after Boston from the top. What's that? Sorry. Sorry, I didn't get that, Charlie. You're breaking in and out again.
Just send an email, but yeah, I just want to use Nutshell to make some progress on that this week.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll start the. I heard you that you're just gonna be sending an email. So, yeah, I'll be waiting for the email and I'll start working on this, and then import the contacts to Nutshell so that we can start on reaching out to them using Nutshell.
All right, that sounds great.
Okay, awesome. Okay.
All right.
Anything else that we should talk about?
I don't think so. I'm good.
Okay, I'm good as well.
All right, great.
I'm good.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.